Higuruma Hiromi has recently been making waves around the internet for both good and other questionable reasons. But one thing is for sure. He is one hot mess who deserves his own show. Not in a dark seinen nor doom josei kind of way, but in a hardcore shonen anime cause who decided life peaks in high school? I say 36 is now the new 16, and today we'll go over why a middle-aged young man would make for the perfect shonen protagonist. But first, some quick context. The word shonen is Japanese for a young boy and is a genre that targets boys from age 12 to 18. And for this audience, the stories have always revolved around the power of friendship, never giving up, zero to hero, and all that sappy junk. The protagonists would be these loud, hyper energetic beasts, brimming with positivity, which is cool and all, until you realize that most of us watching these shows have long outgrown that phase. And that's how characters like Higuruma or Nanami become the relatable ones. While it makes sense that kids with wild imaginations are more likely to fall for a yokai or get kidnapped by an alien, it'll be far more interesting seeing a grown man or woman tackle these situations instead. Sure, they'd be too tired or are probably, no, definitely depressed, have no time for these random side quests, and would rather let the world burn than try to save it. But that's where the story would really shine. The shonen genre is filled with hope core and wishy-washy characters, and it is only by placing a burnt adult in the center that could revive this dying genre. And that's where Higuruma comes in. His story arc was a perfect example of how most grand dreams usually end up in shambles. He must have been inspired by Ace Attorney or Naruto and felt that as long as he was true to himself and worked hard, things would eventually work out. But reality, unfortunately, had other plans. Everything Higuruma poured his life into turned against him. His work, his clients, and even his colleagues would go around calling him a masochist. On the other hand, a typical teenage lead's development usually has a training arc, a power up, and a motivational speech about friendship, and boom, you've achieved your dreams. But Higuruma doesn't get any of that. Instead, he does what most adults eventually do. He simply walks away. Not because he's too weak or he stopped caring, but because he understands something most shonen protagonists never even have to face, that the world doesn't always reward people trying their best. Now, I'm not saying that him killing the judge and the prosecutor was the grown up thing to do, but it does show that Higuruma had reached a point where he believed the system would never change on its own. Because it was either lifetime jail for someone innocent or permanent bail from life for someone guilty. Characters like Higuruma and Nanami have given us a grounded lens into the shonen world. While the kids see the black and white, these adults are lost in the gray. And as the children see the dream, the adults see the cost of that dream. Higuruma felt that weight. He crumbled under the pressure, and seeing someone like Yuji, who held nothing against him, who accepted a crime he never even committed, who didn't care for face nor self, who had that spark that Higuruma had long lost, all of this moved something in him. For adults to hold on to their true selves is like holding on to burning coal. He couldn't become a judge knowing he'd be dead inside by the time he gets there, and he saw firsthand how cruel and unfair the justice system could be. He saw how fickle an adult's life was, how every structure was fragile, and every day felt uncertain. The reason I keep mentioning all of this is because there's so much more to explore and navigate in an adult's life as compared to a teenager that giving it a shonen twist would give us the best of both worlds, the depth of a seinen and the breadth of a shonen. Nanami's story might have felt incomplete, but he died when he felt most alive. Higuruma quit his job before it could corrupt him. These characters, these people, take a shonen approach to their seinen lives and deserve so much more than just a supporting role. But then there comes the obvious dead end. The reason why writers go for teens in the first place is because of how imaginative children are, and how colorful and broad their worldview is. But the older they get, the narrower their vision becomes, until it gets to a point where words like dreams and ambitions feel like a madman's parade. In episode 9 of JJK, we see how Higuruma, despite his power, is quick to clip his own wings and says to Yuji that he turned himself in once all of this ends. He sees the shackles of reality and knows that he is but a mere cog in a grand system and can never escape. That as an adult, dreams or happiness are loans that need to be paid off. Now, there have been some exceptions to this with Kaiju Number 8, One Punch Man, and Tokyo Revengers. Kaiju Number 8 gave us an older protagonist, and that's about it. Tokyo Revengers handed us Takemichi, a grown adult who can see the future, yet somehow still gets his neck handed to him by 16-year-olds. One Punch Man was the only good example with an older protagonist done right. It's a sad thing that the anime absolutely got wrecked by horrible animation. Also, an honorable mention goes to Reagan from Mob Psycho. No one Reagan the way Reagan Reaganed. So it's about time we graduate the high schooler blueprint and get some 9 to 6 zombies up in here who aren't all powerful nor dumb as a pebble, and definitely not an isekai pervert, please. Higuruma was your average talented man who got stumped by the system and, as cringe as it sounds, broke free from the matrix. Though I really hope he doesn't end up in jail because that'll make for one awkward reunion with all his clients. Just imagining him going around, passing judgment on the scum of society, and smacking them with his hammer would make for a sick shonen series. Because tell me, if you were in trouble, who would you rather call for help? An energetic teenager or a burnt out adult with nothing left to lose? It's your call.